Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Set, ready? 10 logo. Fire.
On 1st and 10, Stanton. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Hey, Delta. Let's get off the field. Check 45, come on. Check 45, come on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stanton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch the slip, watch the slip.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. On the ground, this is Smith. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 3rd down, Brissett. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 16.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
I'm here all day. Shift.
Now Olsen. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett is complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Down. 90 Wolf. Pick it up, Pete. Out. There. Let's go.
They'll run with Madison. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Come on, set. 15 line. 15 line. Hey, echo.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stanton. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tack McKinley in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun. Stanton going deep for Diggs. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Brissett. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick.
You see me out here? That's right. We can't be stopped. You ready? 45. Mike, 45. Hey, Alpha. Get ready.
On 1st down, Stanton going to throw deep for the end zone. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 1st touchdown on the year. here as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They begin with a run by Smith. He finds an opening past the 40. And he will finally be taken out of bounds as it's an enormous play there on the final snap of this first quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action now. Brissett firing quickly here, and that's complete. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's Brissett. Complete to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. They come out here in the I.
Get in the weight room.
Smith trying to run for it. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, Is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. And finding the tight end Hooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Stanton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Brissett on 1st down. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Let's go, baby.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deion Jones The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On second down, this is Madison. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. On third down, Stanton. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Gideon. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. This is Smith. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Right there, 54, right there, right there.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Set up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Check.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Looking deep for Julio. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room.
45, Mike, 45. Watch the out.
Throwing on first down. Stanton. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll try the left side. Dawson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and a couple. Stanton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Brissett now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. To throw, Brissett. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Smith. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. That's complete to Smith. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. At their own 20-yard line.
Ready up.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Check three.
On first down, it's Dawson, and he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
And now here's another interception. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run on first down. Smith. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Brissett now. Jones has it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Brissett. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game, as now they've got it 3rd and long.
54.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett looking downfield for Jones. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, 2 hands, 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there.
They're running it.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Jacoby Brissett, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. You can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it. And sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll run it again with Smith. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. And it's complete. Hooper. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Here's Olesen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons.